as a lot of NBA playoff series are cooling down, the Mavs and the Jazz playoff series is certainly heating up. There was a skirmish in Game 5. Skirmish, is that the word?
Skirmish,
yeah. Exactly. Dodo came in behind Luka, who was thrown down to the court by Hassan Whiteside. I think this is a good sign. Obviously, technicals aren't great, but what do you think?
Well, the Jazz made a mistake here because the result is yet another rally around Luka. Already an easy thing to do. So now you've got even more inspiration on the Mavericks side. You've got a trip now to Utah for Game 6. The Mavericks will probably be underdogs, maybe by a point or something there. But then that's the beauty of making sure you finish as a top seed in the playoffs. That's why it matters, because Game 7, if there is a Game 7 back here in Dallas, and the smart bet would be that it'll be the Mavericks who are throwing around the Jazz in that game.
Absolutely. So star Luka Doncic has returned from that left calf injury, and every game you can tell he's getting just a little bit better, looking more like himself. How far can this Mavs team go with a healthy Luka?
Yeah, and of course he's not fully healthy.
Yeah.
If you go back to his first game in this series, in Game 4, you saw him, I'm not saying he was sluggish, but he was working methodically. Is that a fair way to say it?
Yes.
He was clearly like pacing himself in a way.
And the whole offense slowed down.
No question.
So much.
They hit the accelerator
Yeah.
in this most recent blowout win.
Yeah.
There are certainly NBA experts who have said out loud, watch out for the Mavericks as an NBA Finals contender. That's a long way away, of course, and increasingly.
A lot has to happen.
Yeah, and there'll be big breaks between games too as we move on, giving us more time to contemplate this. Maybe first things first is important. Obviously, injuries matter too. What's going on with the Suns injury-wise, and what's going on with Luka injury-wise. 100% Luka would give the Mavericks a chance to beat anybody in one game, in 1 week, even in one series.
Wow. Jalen Brunson sure has been playing elite during the NBA playoffs, so much so that at American Airlines Center, when he was shooting his free throws, the crowd was chanting MVP.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they go and they chant MVP again for Luka. But that's been my biggest surprise of Dallas so far during the playoff run. What has been a surprise for you?
Yeah, it's hard to top that one, that the Mavericks lose Luka and that Jalen Brunson says, well, then I'll just be Luka for a week.
3 turnovers in 3 games.
Yeah, I go back to Rick Carlisle, a friend of the show here, Rick Carlisle, who on draft night when they got Luka and Brunson, obviously in that same draft, and all the excitement is for Luka Doncic and his international stardom, but people who knew college basketball recognized what Brunson had done at Villanova.
Yeah.
And Rick said that night that he's a pro. I mean, he'd just been drafted 10 minutes earlier. And Carlisle's already talking about Jalen Brunson, he just conducts himself like a pro. Now, there's contract issues to be wrangled with, and then there's the minutes distribution and ball distribution. But you're right. The Mavericks needing to continue to make sure that they get the ball to Brunson too, not just Luka, is a pleasant shock for me.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, head coach Jason Kidd, his focus on defense sure is paying off. You can tell during the Mavs and Jazz playoff series when the Mavs in the beginning of the first couple of games, man, they were getting out rebounded by double digits. And then in Game 5, they win the rebounding battle. The Mavs defense has been elite. How good is it that was his focus?
Yeah, Luka called it amazing after Game 5. No less an authority than Tyson Chandler, the best center to ever play here.
Right.
And watching that game says the same thing. That defense was amazing. I go back to Jason Kidd's first press conference here, and of course some critics laughed at the hiring of Jason Kidd. I thought that was a mistake to laugh at Jason Kidd. He just, because he made some mistakes in Milwaukee or whatever, he's just too good at growing. And he did it over the course of his career as a person and a player, and now he's doing it as a coach. But I did chuckle at that press conference that we were both at when he talked about how defense is going to be the focus and the primary thing, and he learned as an assistant coach with the Lakers that you've got to focus on that. And I did chuckle at that because I'm looking at this personnel going, this team, who's going to do it besides a couple of guys?
Yeah.
But then I think back to how Kidd himself, especially late in his career, played defense even when he was slower and older. He still found a way to put out the effort to do it. I remember talking with him when he was a player about if Jason Terry, who was obviously lightning quick on offense, if he's so fast on offense, why can't he be fast and good on defense?
Right.
And we laugh, but it's about want to. And what Jason Kidd has instilled in this roster, with a bunch of guys who, for the better part of their basketball lives, did not think of themselves as defensive players, well, now they are. And that's a credit to a guy that should have been a Coach of the Year finalist in Jason Kidd.
And maybe a reason that the Mavs will win their first playoff series for the first time since 2011.